Today I want to go through all of the filters I use to determine whether or not I'm going to invest in a cryptocurrency. The first criteria, and this eliminates a lot of them, is has it launched? I only invest if it has launched. You know, if something launches and then it's great, there's an argument that, well, you know, you'll make more before it launches. But the reality is, you're reducing a ton of your risk if you're able to look at something that already launched. And it is so easy to get caught up in the stories of how amazing something is going to be when it launches. And then there's always problems. Or there's, you know, what they say is going to be amazing might be amazing, but what you didn't realize is it's going to have all these other problems. So you stay grounded and you keep it real by only investing in things that launch. So for me, this eliminates investing at this point. So you've got, you know, the two biggest that I see all the time are ADA and EOS. These have not launched yet. They may be awesome, and they may not launch for like a year. Okay, now also when I say launch, and we're going to get into my other, let me just give you a sneak peek on my next one, and is decentralized. Is it decentralized? For me, that is huge. I only invest in truly decentralized platforms. I'm going to get to that in a second, but EOS launched their test net, like on just like one computer or something. Then in June, they're going to launch from one data center, and that's great, and people can work on it. Like I said, EOS may turn out to be amazing, but when it's only on one data center in June, when they launch then, it's not decentralized yet. Maybe 6 months after that, so like a year from now, it may be launched and decentralized. And then I would take a look. ADA, I don't know when that's, you know, and again, they have a test net. So by launched, I mean fully like, hey, we have a decentralized, awesome platform up and running. So I wait for it to launch, okay? Now, that's not to say that people, you know, angel investors, you know, invest just based on the white paper. That's not for me. That's hard business. I can't, this is hard enough for me, analyzing things that have launched. Plus, when it's launched, you have metrics to look at. We'll get to it. Okay, decentralized. This is very important for me. This is how I got into this in the first place. I had an epiphany. I remember I was like 21 years old walking down the street in Tokyo, Japan, and I realized, you know what it is that I've been trying to put together? If you have two systems competing, the decentralized one, two systems competing to do a similar thing, the decentralized one tends to grow faster and become larger than the one that is centrally organized. And I just sort of created this philosophy that, you know what, if there's two competing systems, I'm going to go with the one that's more decentralized. And in fact, that's why I bought Bitcoin at $350. I saw, okay, here's a money system competing with central banks, you know, and it's already growing quickly. This decentralized one, something tells me this could grow really fast and become big because of my philosophy about decentralization. So there are private blockchains, permission blockchains. There are things out there that are not decentralized, and there are many wonderful investments in the world that are not decentralized. I own, you know, some Facebook stock. Facebook is a centrally organized business, and I like it. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only thing, but when it comes to cryptocurrency, to me, one of the biggest things about it is the decentralization. So I will only invest when in cryptocurrencies that are decentralized. So, for example, so a couple to avoid with that, I should cross these. These are the ones I'm saying no. And by the way, I'm going to make a video talking about my favorites. That's coming later, but these are just my filters. So we have IOTA and NEO. These are two of the most popular cryptocurrency investments that are not decentralized. Now, both of them say eventually in the future they will become decentralized, just like EOS has a plan to be decentralized. And that may happen, but I will wait. You know, when it's not decentralized, it's not for me. So that allows me to eliminate these two popular ones. There's so many opportunities out there that I almost look at it like, when I look at a new investment, I've got my long list of filters. I'm thinking, how can I eliminate this from the list of opportunities? You know, I'm almost looking to hate things. And the ones that make it through all my filters, they're probably pretty good. That's, you know. So, next, also, is it an open network? Can anybody just join? I like open. It's sort of similar to the decentralized concept. Well, they're different things. But open means anybody can just come on in. Anybody can contribute. And this also, along with decentralized, it allows things to grow faster. When anybody can just come on in, join in, contribute, it's faster than one where everybody needs to go through the central control. I guess open and decentralized are somewhat related. And so this is why Ripple may be great, may turn out to be one of the best investments, maybe. But it's not open. You have to go through Ripple. They're sort of setting up the banks that work with each other. There's a little bit of this centralization to the building out of the network. So so XRP. One reason I don't love it is because it's not open. Okay. Should we move to the next page here? Let's do it. All right. My next is I like platforms. I prefer to invest in a platform. What does that mean? So a platform is something that other companies build on top of. The opposite of that, and a very common investment that are not platforms that I avoid, are just pure coins. Okay? For example, Zcash is a privacy coin. They've got really good privacy, which by the way has been adopted. Ethereum now has that technology, but Zcash has great privacy technology. It's a coin, it's safe, it's wonderful, it's a nice coin, but it's just a coin. I prefer platforms that companies can build on. I believe that platforms, so for example, what's an example of a platform? I mean, almost, so Facebook, you have companies go and they can build content on that platform. It's hard to explain what a platform is. But, so for example, you can understand pure coin, Bitcoin too. Now I do invest in Bitcoin for other reasons. We'll get to the ones I like before I go through all the ones I eliminate. But this really comes down to the pure coins don't fit into platforms. Platforms are things that is more than just a coin. You can build on top of it. Okay, so that eliminates for me Litecoin. I just mentioned Zcash, Zcoin. There's all these other ones coming out. There's so many it's just a coin. And so that's boring for me. They may do okay, and in the short run, some of these coins could go to the moon, baby Lambos. But in the long run, I think a platform with a lot of companies working on it has a lot more stability and can grow larger than just pure coins. So I look for platforms. What else do we have here? Now this relates, and the other thing I look at, and someone was asking me about this, I'm going to try to explain. I say, sometimes when I say Litecoin, problem with Litecoin is it could become a commodity. And people were asking, well, what do you mean? What does that actually mean? So, so if you have here, oh boy, commodity, if I can spell it versus unique advantage. Okay, a commodity is something that is just, you can sort, whatever it's, so if you look at a coin, let's say a coin Litecoin. Why do we like Litecoin? Well, you may like it because it's kind of fast, it's not as expensive, it's safe, you can move it from different exchanges. Great, so you buy your Litecoin, you can use it, it has some uses, it works, it's nice, right? The question is, can you buy another coin that has all of those same features? If so, it's a commodity. A commodity is something where, well, I could buy Litecoin, or I could buy this coin, or I could buy that coin. Now, right now, Litecoin's not totally a commodity because there's not a ton of basic, safe coins that move fast that are in a lot of exchanges. But as time goes on, there are so many coins being added to all the exchanges, and many coins there's many fast coins out there. There's many coins that are maybe a lower market cap. And so the features of Litecoin are being copied, and therefore it, I believe, can become a commodity. Now, the opposite of commodity is something with a unique advantage. Something you can only get it here. So for example, Ethereum's platform with Turing complete smart contracts. Now, there are, first of all, there's a lot of people saying, oh, again, back to ADA, people say, well, it's going to be so much better than Ethereum. Well, when it's better, then, then we could talk about it, but it's not launched yet, right? As far as Turing complete smart contracts, there's a lot of smart contract wannabe or actual competitors that aren't Turing complete, but this Turing complete is sort of unique. I'm not saying nobody else has it, but it's a feature that's pretty unique. Ethereum's size and scale and which allows them to build a lot of features is kind of unique. I feel that Ethereum has some features. Now, another one would be Stellar Lumens. Now, Jed McCaleb created Ripple. He forked it to create Stellar Lumens. So it's kind of similar to Ripple, but it really has a different structure in that Stellar is open, totally open network with a different focus. They're different than Ripple. And then who else is going to be just like Stellar? I don't think anybody. So it's pretty unique. When something is unique, customers or users go to it, stay there. They have to stay there because they're the only one who offers that. So I look for unique. And commodity is something that first of all, it's often difficult, or it often can be a problem to invest in a commodity because what's the competitive advantage? But in this industry, it's more of watch out for things that will become a commodity. Ask yourself, okay, this coin has all these features. Is it going to be, within a year or two, are there going to be a lot of other companies with the same features? If so, I fear it'll become a commodity. I don't like it. Okay, what else do we got here? Okay, next. The team. Founders and lead developers. Who's the team? At the end of the day, and when I look at investments, I think to myself, who is the founder, and if they walked into my house, like in person, or they walked up right here, would I hand them money and feel good like you're taking my money and you're going to hold it safely? If Warren Buffett walked into this room, I would take my wallet out and just give him my money. I trust. I mean, this guy, he's not going to steal my money, and he's better than me investing. He'll handle it. If Elon Musk walked in here, I'd say, I'll give you some money to try. What do you want to make next? You want to make a tunnel? Okay. I mean, you're pretty good at the car and the spaceship. I trust. To the other extreme, BitConnect. Who's the founder? There is no founder. Like someone is hiding. If somebody refuses to reveal themselves, you probably don't want to hand them your money. So who are the founders? Now, track record is valuable. I was fortunate to get into Stellar Lumens early because I saw Jed McCaleb. Well, he created a file sharing peer-to-peer service, became one of the most popular in the world. He created one of the first Bitcoin exchanges, Mt. Gox, became one of the biggest in the world. It collapsed a year after he left, but anyways. And then he created Ripple, which has become one of the biggest. I'm like, this guy is a winner. So now he's creating Stellar. What are the chances that this works out too? So now it's pretty hard to find founders in cryptocurrency who have a huge track record like him. You know, a lot of people, this is their first thing. Vitalik Buterin, this is his first, but now he has a track record, 3 or 4 years of leading this the Ethereum platform in a good way. So who are the founders? And look for videos and watch the video. You know, there's a couple things with that. I mean, if you're watching it and you're like, what is this guy talking about and this and that? Hey, maybe he's smart, you just don't understand. But at the same time, if you can't follow it and the person's, you know, if it doesn't look good to you, that's, you know, you need to have faith. Remember, a lot of this studying and following these filters and researching to invest, it's not just to find the right coin, which it is, but through this process, we develop confidence in the investment so that when the price goes all the way up, we don't just sell it all because we know that the story is bigger than the latest price jump. And the same thing when the price plummets and there's bad news on Reddit, we don't lose confidence because we have faith in our research. That we have faith in the fundamentals, not in the latest price movement. So again, if you have a founder and you're following them on Twitter and you can watch their YouTube videos, you know, that can help you have your confidence and know what you're doing here. The same thing, lead developers. Who's the lead developer? Do they have a track record? What have they built in the past? These are things to look at. Like I said, some people don't have a great track record. I made a video of Storage, however you pronounce it. One of the lead developers, he doesn't have much of a track record, but I listened to him talk. He seems on top of it. I like what he's doing. You know, and on the other hand, Waves, when I researched that, I saw the founder. Oh my God, what was his name? Well, anyways, one of the, I think I have a video on it. I showed videos of him. You know, I was listening to this guy talk and I'm like, oh God, I didn't agree with some of the things he was saying. I didn't like the way he presented. I didn't get a good feel for it. So I don't invest. That's one criteria for me. That's a little subjective, but I think it's important to remember, what is this? I do not want to start this video over. Where did this music come from? God help me. Okay, great. Hell. I don't even see oh, I know. Oh boy, do I lose viewers when this happens, or do people just think it's funny? I don't know, but I'm too busy to start over, so bear with me. Okay, so founders, lead developers, you want to know, oh right, I was going to use my father's quote. People do business with people. Know who the people are you're investing in and whether or not you like them. It's important. And if you can't find them, maybe it's not for you. And one other point too. I believe, you know, for example, I make these videos. And you may think it's just for my ego to have people viewing, but actually, by making this video, forces me to go through my ideas, clarify my ideas, put them out there, get feedback from the viewers. I learn more. I become more intelligent by sort of doing this exchange. And the same is true for founders and lead developers who get out in front of crowds and speak and put the videos up on the internet and get together with people. That's one of the reasons I think Vitalik Buterin, I don't know if it's Buterin or Buterin, but anyways, one of the reasons he's so successful is he travels all around the world, goes to all these different events, speaks in front of people, puts the videos up, gets feedback. He's communicating. I think that makes you more intelligent. So I like founders and developers who are out there, okay? And open and expressive and communicating with the public, as opposed to sort of behind the scenes. What was the one, the Neo, their lead developer, I made some videos. We're like, who is this? It's somebody who sort of is in hiding, and the guy may be a genius, but I'm concerned that it's hard to be as smart as somebody who's open and out there. Okay, what is next? The next question is, will the coin have value? Oh my God, my handwriting, sorry, will the coin have value? So, what that means is that you could have an amazing sort of, an example for me, and I'm not 100% sure on this, is Salt. If you've seen Salt, the lending platform, I think this is a great idea that eventually will be big, is if people who have cryptocurrencies could borrow other currencies, borrow dollars off of your cryptocurrencies. You have a ton of Bitcoin, you don't want to sell it, you could use the Bitcoin as collateral through Salt, they'll give you dollars. I believe that's how it all works. Sounds like a great idea, could be an awesome business. But what is the Salt coin? I think they use the coin to actually pay to get in the net, to initiate your loan or to sort of have a loan, and so it may be necessary for that, but why would the coin be that valuable? In fact, if the coin's $1 million, if it's used sort of as a token to get a loan, well then it wouldn't be worth it. Listen, I may be talking out of line here because I'm not 100% sure, but I remember when I did research it, I remember having that question to myself, well, what is the value of the coin? Business sounds great, but what about the coin? I don't see how it's integral, as opposed to, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum, where the coin is the payment that is paid to the computers that run the network. If Bitcoin's price was at zero, no miners would work, and the whole thing would be over. So if you think the network has value, then the coin has to have value. Same is true with Ethereum. If the coin had no value, then why would anybody mine it and the whole network wouldn't work? So the coin needs to have value. So, you could look at the, how many coins are out there. If there's so many coins, it could be diluted. So you want to just look at purely, will the coin have value? Next. Okay, now, remember I talked about I'm only looking at projects that have launched. Well, now we can look at metrics. How is it doing? Is it growing rapidly? How many transactions per day? How much, with this storage, how many computers are offering hard drive storage space? How many people are uploading files? What's the total, what are these metrics? And then watch them month to month and watch you want to see your growth rate. You want to see it going up. And then you want to compare that growth rate to other ideas. And fast growth rate, exponential growth is what this is all about. And that's why we're so early right now that sometimes price is, we don't even know how to value sometimes price-wise. What should the market cap of something be? Is a difficult question. But, Ethereum's transactions grew 2,000% in the last year. If 2,000% is a hell of a growth rate. If it grows 2,000% for a number of years, I don't care what the price is today, it's cheap, right? Now, it may stop growing that fast. But this is what I look at. You know, I'm looking all the time. Ethereum transactions per day. What is it at? You know, they do a fork. Well, did it get faster? Did look at the metrics. Same thing with Stellar. I'm looking at, you know, again, transactions per day. Storage, there's more things you can look at. Look at the metrics. And if you can't find metrics, then either that's a reason not to invest. I mean, why aren't there metrics if it's up and running? And these are open systems, so these data should be available. The company should be providing it. The founders should be talking and presenting it. They should have a blog where they're putting out this data. If you can't find metrics, that's a negative sign. That could be a problem. Okay. Next, and I mentioned a little bit, is price. Now, do not make the mistake that, hold on. A lot of people make the mistake and say, oh, this one is $10 and this one is only $1, so it's cheaper. No, it depends. If it's $1 and there's 1 million coins, then it's worth $1 million. If the other one is $10, but there's only 10 coins, then it's worth $100. 100 is a lot cheaper than 1 million. So it's not the price of the coin, it's price times number of coins, which is the market cap. So you want to look at the market cap. And yeah, so that's the price. Now, there's a couple points with this. One thing is how many coins are there, but how many coins in the future? So let me talk about different scenarios. For example, first of all, you have Bitcoin, right? Which has, there's so many coins today, I don't know the exact number, but miners keep mining new coins, and eventually there's supposed to be 21 million, and then there will be no more. So you could look at, well, what is the market cap based on how many coins there are today and how many new coins will be coming, and you can kind of look at that. On the other hand, there's some that have just, all the coins are out there, it's just, and there's this many coins and that's it, it's never going to change. What is also very common, and Stellar has this, is they have pre-mined, I believe it's 100 billion coins. But only so far 17 billion have been released. And they have this separate, it's called the SDF, Stellar, I can't remember what that stands for, but I think it's called SDF. And one of the reasons, just to explain here, you know, one of the reasons IBM chose to invest in Stellar is because they felt that the distributions of the coins is being handled in a very open, transparent, community way. They're holding these coins, they will be released in sort of there's rules on how they will be released over time to partners, and I don't have all the details on it, but I sort of trust it. So although, now Ripple has a similar situation, right? Because again, it was created the same. They have 100 billion coins, only so many have been put out, but the team and IBM sort of specifically said it was opaque as to how all of those coins they're holding are going to be used. So that's something to think about, is how many coins, although the market price is this, how many coins are to be mined or are they holding? But the other thing is, I sort of am not that skeptical. I think people, we look at, like, we think central banks, oh, you know, they print money to give it to their friends and this and that, and there's sort of a skepticism that if there's coins being held by, you know, somebody, that they're going to use it badly. I mean, I think a lot of these projects, they're doing their best to sort of, everybody wants the price to go up. Everybody wants the price of their coin to either be stable or appreciated. And so I don't think anybody's going to do something to destroy the price of their coin, right? So, and that's different with central banks. You know, they have the economy. The central bankers may have a reason why they want the value of the currency to go down, because they're not holding a ton of the currency. They may have a ton of debt, so they want it to go down. With a lot of these cryptocurrencies, the desire of those holding coins, or the ability to put out more coins, their goal is for the currency to at least be stable, if not rising. So I don't sort of fear some sort of conspiracy with these coins. But nevertheless, look at the price. You know, Ethereum's market cap, what is it? Probably like 80 billion. Stellar Lumens is only 5. So when you're thinking, well, Ethereum is much better, like I think of Ethereum as like, wow, it's huge, it's growing, it's got so much more going on in the crypto space than Stellar. But Stellar is like, you know, a small percentage of its price, of its market cap. So it sort of makes sense. Did I have anything else for you here? Oh, last point I kind of want to talk about is what not to do, what not to research, okay? So first of all, gossip. And really, what is the definition of gossip? I don't know. But to me, the point I look at is you want to listen to experts. Hopefully you consider me an expert. There are experts out there. Vitalik Buterin, Joseph Lubin, leaders in the space, the founder of the company you're investing in. Those are experts. Some idiot on Reddit who, you know, is worried about FOMO and FUD is not an expert. You don't want to listen. People fighting on Reddit and Steemit, and someone just posted an article and a bunch of people are arguing. Sometimes those things are fun to read, and sometimes those things can lead you to new experts or real research. Not that person, but it can kind of lead you in a direction. So I'm not saying to never read any of that. But that stuff is not research, okay?